What is happening, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. KG is back with a match reaction. Leeds United pick up yet another 3 points, put the pressure on those above us. Listen, the performance wasn't perfect, but we're getting the points on the board. And I guess at this stage, it's the most important thing. Obviously, there's other things we can talk about in terms of game management, but I feel like that's coming up to Groundhog Day. And funny enough, it is coming up to February 2nd, isn't it? But listen, people, you know the drill. Please hit a like on the video. Best way to help out the channel. Subscribe, and of course, drop your comments below. Thank you to Karen Curtin, who donated a super thanks on the last video. Much appreciated. And thank you to John, who's become a member on YouTube. Much appreciated to all new and existing members. Really does help me out and help the channel out. So if you're able to become a member, please do so by clicking the link in the description. Lee saying we need to send Anthony back. It just isn't working. I'm going to speak on that, and I just want to preface it. This has got nothing to do with obviously his mom passing away. This is completely separate. But yeah, we'll talk about that. Owen here saying it was a lot. It was. Gavin, it was a toughie. Yep. Jason, obviously thankful for the full-time whistle, and I was too. It's always funny. We when we score a goal, we always look like we could then go on to score 2 or 3. But I think we've seen the pattern enough this season to know that it's probably not going to happen that way. And the more that I thought the first half we had most of the control, but Norwich, it was like a perfect away performance from them. I'll give them their credit for the first half because that's how you play as an away team, especially to a team that's better than you. You hold out, you defensively set up in resolute, and you try and hit on the counter. And listen, at the end of that first half, they almost equalized. They almost equalized. So look, it's one of those where we take the 3 points, move on to the next game, and thankfully we're still in the cup. And Tommy here saying I take a 1-0 win all day. Yeah, I predicted 2-0. I did think we would keep a clean sheet today. But yeah, 1-0, we'll take it and run, won't we, at this point? Nate here saying huge 3 points, give me top 2. Yeah, Nate's still on that. And listen, it's still on. Carl Brown saying, thank you, Carl Brown, for the super sticker. Much appreciated, Carl. Thank you. Let's have a look. Luigi here saying it's a win. Greetings from Brisbane. Greetings from everyone. Evening, morning, night, wherever you are, people. Thank you for joining me. Lewis here saying second place incoming. Hopefully Mateo gets some minutes in the cup game. Well, yeah, I mean, he got, again, this is another one, isn't it? He got, what, 2 minutes today, maybe a minute and a half. I just don't know how that is sustainable with subs to keep their match fitness up, to get 2 minutes here and there. You saw Cooper being thrown on at the end as well. Yeah, it's just not enough. I don't know, but yeah, like you say, Lewis, hopefully he gets a start in the cup game, because what harm can it do? Home against Plymouth, if you're not going to throw him out, then when are you going to throw him out? And I guess that's the point that Luke Ayling was trying to probably make him when he wasn't picked for the Peterborough game. Well, if I'm not going to start in this game, when am I going to start? It's one of those, I think. Let's have a look. Yeah, Dave Archigray, superb. Yeah, let's go on. Let's go on to the team. Obviously, I don't think it was any surprise, but it was unchanged, and I was good with that. I'll say that right now. I was good with the team being unchanged. Obviously, preferably, I would like to see Peru play up front, but we know what it is. When someone's in form, you keep him in, and thankfully, you know, he got the winner today. But yeah, it was an unchanged team. We had a lot of rest time from the last game to this one, so I expected so. Dan James yet again. I know he came off at half time, but Dan James was electric yet again, people. Absolutely brilliant. And you know, LUFC data just sharing this today. You know, after his assist for the Patrick Bamford's cross goal, Dan James has now 17 goals and assists combined for Leeds this season. That's also 10 goals and assists combined for James in his last 10 championship appearances at Elland Road. Can't ask for any more from DJ, people. Yeah, you can't ask for any more. And listen, like Lee says here, hopefully the injury isn't too bad. I did think, no, and you know me, I say it how I see it. I did think he did go down a couple times too easy, but obviously he did get caught at some occasions, but I did think he did go down a little too easily on some of those. But obviously he is hurt, so we need to see if that's going to be long term. Hopefully not, people. Hopefully not, because while Nonto is out with his current injury, the next option is Jayden Anthony, and I just don't feel comfortable with that. The drop off from Dan James to Jayden Anthony is huge for me. And then even if you take Somerville off and put on Jayden Anthony, I mean, that drop is just like from Premier League to League Two. And I'm not being horrible, but it just isn't happening for Jayden Anthony here. and he didn't just get charity minutes here today. He got a whole half. And again, I will preface this: he has just lost his mother, so that must be on your mind or what have you. It's a shame that he couldn't get a goal or something to then, celebrate his, and celebrate for his on his mother's mind or memory in terms of his mother's memory. But it's just I haven't been convinced with Jayden Anthony since we signed him. I've never been convinced, and everyone who's watched this channel from the start of the seasons know exactly what I think of the signing. It was a throw in by Leeds to say, please, we need to leave with something. He's just not at the quality of the rest of our wingers. And Prosa here saying Anthony is not match fit. Yeah, I mean, he's not going to be match fit as well when he does get 10 minutes here and there, but he had a whole half and it was just it stunk. It wasn't good today, I'm afraid. And I want to park it there. I don't want to go too deep into it because of his recent circumstances. But if there was a way that Leeds United could possibly, sever this loan and go somewhere else, I'd be 100% for it. Let's have a look. Stephen here saying KG Farker should complain about how not ref stuff, Stephen. How we play 8 extra minutes when the board show 3 minutes. It's because there was stoppages within the stoppages, Stephen. That happens in every single game. So if you've put up 3 minutes on the board and then someone goes down injured, or you keep making substitutions as we did as well in those 3 minutes, you're going to get time added on. It's just the name of the game. Germinate is saying this team can't afford passengers. Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. When you look at what we've got coming off the bench, when you compare it to what we've got starting, aside from Perot, it is a little bit weak. So if we could just strengthen up, I don't know what's going to happen from now until the end of the window, but we do need more reinforcements on this bench. Because even at the end of the first half, we was mainly in control of that, but they got in behind our fullbacks, because they were pushing up, and Archie is a natural fullback, although Archie made a great tackle in the second half because he's not a right back, people. But you can see that we are needing reinforcements in certain areas. Daniel Farke has said so himself in the last 2 press conferences. So he knows that we need to strengthen in those areas, and it's quite apparent that we do need to strengthen on the bench. Jim here saying in regard to Jayden Anthony, I feel bad for Jayden, but would love to swap him out for a right back or left back. Yeah, 100%. If you could just send him back and then get another. I guess at that point, then if no other winger leaves, maybe you have to get another winger in just from the way that we play, or even get a 10. Get a 10 in that position. I just feel the loan just hasn't been good for me. Maybe you guys disagree, but for me, the Jayden Anthony loan, apart from the Watford goal, he really has done nothing else. Okay, some support for Jayden Anthony again. If you screen, no problem. CCW saying thought Anthony looked better on the right than he does the left. He's not very good though. But J Dog saying Anthony didn't look very comfortable on the right. Let's have a look. Stephen here saying we need a full bench as Farker doesn't play subs too late. Gordon here saying, good evening, KG. Good evening, Gordon. It should have been a higher score, making us sweat till the end. You know what it is, people? I'm just used to this now. I think I get the pattern under Daniel Farke. It's efficient football, not fancy, not over the top, as he's mentioned before. He likes to respect the opponents and stuff like that. I just feel that we're going to be in this mold of getting 3 points like this without it being too flashy. And you know what? If it's like this between now and the end of the season, as long as we're promoted, I'll take it. Because also what it then shows is that we do need to make, I mean, it's glaringly obvious anyway, but we need to make reinforcements when we go to the Premier League. We need to buy better players in order to compete in the Premier League. As good as this team is in the Championship, and I want to make that clear, this is a great Championship team. When you look at this lineup, you're not swapping many of these players out. You're just not. This is a good Championship team. And that's the difference. I wanted to highlight that today in terms of Norwich. You see Norwich, they've got a solid Championship team. But that's what happens when you don't go back up in the first 1-2 years of being relegated from the Prem. All of a sudden, all your little jewels, all your crown jewels, little jewels, all your best jewels, all your best players, they leave. And then you have to replace them with solid Championship players. At this point, we've got a few solid Championship players, but we've also got Premier League level players that are giving us that extra quality what other teams don't have. And that's what I'm scared of. I'm telling you, I'm scared of it. And you'll come back. Hopefully it doesn't happen. we get promoted this summer, but if we are, you'll see exactly what I'm saying. Um, Chris Kingy, hey Chris, KG, we don't go up like this. The players are knackered and being pushed to their limits because Farker can't manage players and or games. Yeah, listen, I hear everybody. I hear it, Chris. And as someone said, when I say I hear it, it means I kind of agree. I do agree. You know, the tactical game management, in terms of Farker. But at this point, now, guys, you know what you're getting. You know there's not going to be a substitution unless, like Dan James, who was injured at 45 minutes, so someone else has to come on. Otherwise, the substitutions are not coming until the 75th or beyond minute. And I'm being generous with 75 minutes. Gavin here saying we need two bodies in. Yeah, at least two. At least two. What was this here? Let me just see there. Okay, yeah. Scott here saying, I want promotion this season. I don't want to lose Rutte. He's just so fun to watch. Yeah, there was a few moments where he probably could have passed it off a bit quicker, but when you're talking about his dribbling skills, his strength on the ball, his creativity, he's a joy to watch. You pay to play to see players like that play. He's so good to watch. And again, he's one of those difference makers that we have and other teams don't have that. I'm talking about Somerville. I'm throwing Dan James in there as well. Difference makers at this level that teams would love to just have one. We've got three of them there. Three. FIFA here saying we defended really well today. I wanted to mention Joe Roden today. Absolute brick wall out there again. Anything aerial, this guy just threw himself into it, dominated, cleared the ball, cleared his lines. Joe Roden, man. I need that guy in the summer. We need that guy in the summer. Yeah. He's just so good. I mean, we can only wax lyrical about him so much, but Joe Roden's level of consistency since he's joined us has been absolutely terrific. Absolutely terrific. Absolutely love Joe Roden. Lee Oxley here echoing that Joe Roden get the deal done. Yeah. Lewis here saying Kamara's sus game. I thought in the first half, obviously, he was heavily involved in the lead up to the first goal. Again, he's done it before where he's pressed from the front and caused the move to stay alive. He was a big part of that. So it's that in that sense. I think when you're talking about the midfielders that we've currently got, I would say Kamara's probably I say most out of form. That's too harsh, but I can't think of another way to put it. But he's still good. He's still doing good things for us, especially when it comes to pressing from the front. But yeah, it was a mixed bag for him today. But if it wasn't for him today, we probably don't get the first goal because without his pressure, it doesn't then go out to Dan James to put the cross in for Bamford. And again, Bamford today, 4 goals in 5. Good stuff. But then there was that second chance where he could have killed this off at 2-0, scuffed it, tried to take it with his left instead of trying with his right, which would have been easier. But you know what you're getting, people. So there's no point getting mad about it, or upset. You know what you're getting. But listen, 4 goals in 5, keep it up as long as you're playing, Patrick, please. Let's see. Crypto Steve say in regards to Kamara, though, saying not progressing the ball enough. Yeah, I don't think he's that kind of player, Steve. I think he's more of a side-to-side guy. But what he does, he'll put the pressure on the defense to make them nervous or get them out of position. And I think that's what you get from Glenn Kamara. You're never going to get a spraying ball. I think that's more the Gruev style. I think Gruev is more the sprayer of the ball. Kamara is more of the press, harry people out of possession, and let other people then get on with it. Yeah, Darren here saying Gruev solid again. He helped out Furpo a lot. Yeah, Furpo getting his customary yellow card today. Did anyone have a bet on that? I hope you did. Let's have a look here. Jack here saying Norwich are a decent side. They beat West Brom and drew with Southampton recently, but that was an awful watch. Yeah, of course it is. And listen, Elland Road, we're still undefeated there. Let's not underplay that. That is still our fortress. Haven't lost there since we lost that game against Tottenham in the league. That's amazing, people. But you're right, Norwich. But this is what I'm saying, Jack. Though they're a decent side at this level. You look at their players and you think, okay, that's a solid championship team. But I look at our team and I say, this is a team that could finish in the top 2 or should, with the right results, finish in the top 2. We've got that. I think because we have them, sometimes you look at other things, other teams, and go, oh, I wish I had some of that. I wish I had that. I absolutely love in this division nearly every one of these players to play for this football club and get us out of this league. 100%. If we don't go up, you'll see a few of these names get picked off and it will look a lot different and it won't look as pretty, people. I promise you. Let's have a look. If we don't rate him at times, let's have a look. JTEX here saying Gruev is rocker, but with defensive skills. No, I would say Rocker is more of a ball player. You know, and listen, this is the thing again where you have to separate what you've seen with Leeds United and the Prem and what the player has offered previously and what he's doing now. And he is a good player. It just didn't work out for him in England. You know, it's one of those things where he's just not suited to the English game. And I still remember the only real good game that guy had was against Nottingham Forest, and that's because he had the freedom of the central midfield to not be rushed and harried. He was brilliant in that game against Nottingham Forest, but other than that, yeah, it wasn't the best for Mark Rucker, but he's still a good player. But I can separate the two. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Crypto Steve saying, I don't think our defensive players help out Millie at corners as the opposition put 2 or 3 players around him. No, I think we defended well from corners today, people. What do you think? I think we defended pretty well today. I think and the thing is as well, people, you know, the more that clean sheets we keep with Ampadu and Rodon in central defense, it's going to be tough for Stroud to come back in. You know, Daniel Farker, if something's working, he ain't going to break it to try and fix it. He's not going to do it. So, let's have a look. Yeah. And people here giving Bamford his flowers. John Hughes saying, have to admit Bamford up top is making this side better. And Dashan here saying we kept a clean sheet. So yeah, listen, as long as we keep Meslier from doing too much work, the clean sheets will keep coming. The defensive work that we have here is top notch in this division, 100%. Godfrey, why don't Meslier catch the ball? No idea, man. No idea. Let's have a look. Michael here saying Meslier is 6'10" in heels. He should be plucking balls out the air from corners. Yeah, it is what it is. Lee also agreed there, along with Patrick Bamford. I agree Patrick Bamford was good. Yeah, overall, he was good today. He was good. And long may it continue. Listen, with this guy, he is a good championship striker. Okay, not Premier League. Let's not get excited. But at this level, if he can stay fit, he can give us goals. But you know, you got to be, he's going to miss them as well. He's going to miss big chances that will frustrate people. But he got the winner today. So job done. Job done. Nothing else to say there. Okay, let me get the next slide in here. Let me get the next one in. So yeah, listen, people. Oh, Perrit House, thank you so much. Oh, Perrit House, my Norwegian people, man, they're always supporting the channel. I love you guys from Norway. Thank you so much, Perrit House, for the super sticker. Robert here saying Bamford scored in the Prem. Let's be fair, yeah, in the COVID season, Robert. And I'm sorry, people can count that as much as they want. I've put an asterisk, a big, heavy asterisk on that, and no one can say it's biased because LeBron James won a championship during that season. Okay, and LeBron is my guy, but even I don't look at that ring the same that I do for the rest of them. Okay, there was so many factors in that season. I'm not taking it away. He scored 17, brilliant. But what has he done there? I think that even the commentator today said he's got 11 goals in 2 years. Sorry, people, you can't defend that. It doesn't matter how no matter his recent form, you cannot defend a striker at Leeds United scoring 11 goals in 2 years. No way, no way. I'm not having you guys trying to rewrite history here. It ain't happening. Listen. Oh yeah, by the way, I was listening to the Norwich feed. It was so weird hearing Bradley Johnson say "we" in terms of Norwich. Man, I'm gonna have to have words with that guy. I'm gonna have to speak to him. You know, I'm gonna have to speak to him. Yeah, Matt is also saying in regards to Archie Gray, because it was initially supposed to be Somerville coming off for Sam Byram, but it was in the end, it was Archie Gray. Yeah, we're going to have to see exactly what's going on with Dan James and Archie Gray, because obviously that is our whole right side of our team. So yeah, let's see. Andy here just agreed. I was thinking the same, KG. Look, everyone can think about things in different ways, but I've just shown LeBron is my guy, and I want LeBron to beat Michael Jordan's rings just to shut that argument up. But it was a funky ring. It was a funky ring, man. No one wanted to be there, but I guess everyone had to play. But listen, that's a completely different conversation, people. Completely different. Let me have a look here. Yeah. So look, yeah, Peru didn't get on. I would expect Peru to start in the cup as well, people. But I do wonder though. Speaking of Bamford, in the form that he's in, I know that his body is very, you know, susceptible to break down, but do you drop him against Plymouth at this stage after scoring 4 in 5? I don't know. I don't know. What would you guys do in that game, people? Obviously, we'll speak about the Plymouth game in a preview, but I'm just thinking, man, if he's hot, and I've said it with any player that, whether I like him or not, if a player's hot, keep him in. Keep them in. That's what I'm saying. Russ is saying correct, KG, no fans, no pressure. And you know what? I'm sorry, but it did tell. You can look at it in different ways, but we bottled it on the first year with fans. We got promoted without fans. We finished ninth with no fans. Fans come back. We could barely hold our bottom together. You know, one of those people. But yeah, listen. Matt, no, no, no. Matt's saying I'm trying to get him injured. Matt, I'm a big believer in all sports that you play the hot hand. No matter who is first choice, no matter who is a sub, unless they're exceptional talents. Like if you've got Erling Haaland and he's out injured, obviously you bring Erling Haaland back in. But I just think with the rhythm that he's in and the lack of rhythm he's had for the last few years, why not put him in against Plymouth? Maybe he scores again. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to why would I try and sabotage my own player? I enjoy that he's scoring goals for Leeds United. That's the whole thing. That's the whole point. Jackie is saying Peru needs some pitch time. He does. He definitely does. Shout out to you, Samuel, out in Australia. Like, thank you for joining. Kelvin, try Peru in the 9 and give Gelhardt a chance at 10. I'll be real with you, Kelvin, man. Gelhardt's another one I think we need to move out this month and replace with someone better for the bench. Yeah, I think that ship sailed, me personally. Maybe others disagree. Russ here, though, saying Farkas to make multiple changes for the cup. It's a no-brainer. We shall see. We shall see, Russ. We shall see. J Dog here saying I would like Rutter on the bench as well, so Joseph starts. Yeah. Got no arguments. It's Plymouth at home, people. Come on. If we're not going to play these players against Plymouth, when are we going to play them, people? But yeah. Again, Lewis here saying, I still remember Gelhardt's assist to Pascal against Norwich. Yeah. And I remember Gelhardt saving us a point, giving us a point at home against Brighton when he flicked it over Dunk. But again, we're talking years ago, people. That's years ago. You can't keep living on the past. You have to look at what's going on now. And he's another player that we've got in our ranks that hasn't kicked on, whether it's through lack of opportunity or him not taking his opportunities. Also, other things as well. It just hasn't worked out for him here. So I think a fresh start will probably do him good too. Yeah, I just wanted to show in that, and that this is the most important one, of course. Now you look at the table. Southampton now, Ipswich looking at us going, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Is that 4 wins in the last 5 I see? It certainly is. And listen, we've got another game before these guys play. We win that game. It's a tough one away. Every game's going to be tough, but our quality should hopefully see us through. We could potentially jump into second place, people. And then it's on the teams, well, as it would be below us to go, oh, we better catch up now because Leeds are hot. And that's all I ask people. Just get the results, no messing about. And that's what Daniel Farker's done today. I did a video with the preview, was it yesterday or the day before, talking about we can still finish second, and the but is to keep on making sure that we get the wins in these kind of games. And we've done that today. It wasn't pretty, but we've got the 3 points. Let's have a look. And Crypto Steve saying teams above that have a harder running. Again, I want to address that as well because people keep talking about teams having a harder running. And I guess that is a point to a certain extent. The thing is, the points that we've dropped against teams that we should be beating. So for me, it's not about the fixtures that you have. It's about what you do in the games because we should have beaten Rotherham. We should have beaten Stoke. There's a plethora of teams. Preston away, we should have been beating them, but we haven't done. So it's all about what you do on the day. And listen, Daniel Farker can talk about there's no pressure. People start to feel pressure now. You're starting to trickle into the 30 game mark. People will start to feel pressure. There's too much on the line. Southampton, especially, they'll be probably like us where we need to go back up. They also need to do that in order to keep their better players that they have right now. And listen, Carl Walker-Peters is being linked with a move away. I think Arsenal have been linked with him. So, their window is certainly not over. I'm more confident in us keeping our better players like Jorginho, like Somerville. I've got no doubts that they will be here past the transfer window. Now that could come back to bite me. I'm aware, but I'm putting my neck out there. I think we keep all of our best players for the rest of this window. Um, yeah, Max H. You're not the only one. And shout out, I think it's Hannah, member of the channel, Hannah. She believes that we're going to finish top as well. But Max H is saying here 9 points off top. I'm aiming high. Yeah. um, yeah, Matt here just saying as well. I mean, it's obvious, it goes without saying, but yeah, Matt, we need some signings now, though. Fullbacks required, 100%. And it's something I've mentioned before, people. Every team has got a weakness. Every team has, you know, places in their teams they wish they were stronger in, but we've got other weapons in our teams that other teams would kill for. So I look at it that from that way too. But if we could get some fullbacks in, hey, listen, top two is definitely in play. It's in play now, but we've got to get the job done next week. Got to get the job done next week. Let's have a look here. What have I got next on the docket? Let's have a look, man. Let me just see here. While I'm getting the next slide up, please hit like on the video if you haven't done already, please. Thank you so much. And also, if you haven't checked out my conversation with Sam Byram, link is in the description, always on my first video page if you haven't seen my interview with Sam Byram. And yet, listen, we would link with Ben Godfrey. As you know, we're a bit short at centre back, and Archie Gregg, Charlie Creswell. We don't know what's going to happen with him, but Ben Godfrey is being linked with a permanent move out to Italy. Fabrizio Romano reports more on Ben Godfrey. Deal with Genoa not easy despite interest and direct talks. As there are more clubs in the race. Everton believe there are better proposals incoming for Godfrey in the next days. Meanwhile, Genoa, okay, yeah, they're working on another deal. What I'll say to that then is that I did see that we were linked with a loan move, and I said in the previous video that would be my preference if we're going to sign Ben Godfrey. Would not want to see him here permanently because I don't believe in him at Premier League level, like I do with Joe Rodon. I think Joe Rodon will translate to Premier League football. But Ben Godfrey, he's 26 now. I think people still think of him as 2021. He's in the prime of his career and he's not holding down a place, and he hasn't done it. He hasn't looked good with Norwich there. You know, circumstances prevail, but he hasn't been good with Everton either on the whole. So if it was a loan in the Championship, I'd be 100% for it. But judging by the wording by Fabrizio Romano, I think Everton are expecting him to probably leave on a permanent deal elsewhere. And I don't think that's us in the race. So I think we move somewhere else. What are you guys saying about Ben Godfrey? Ian J in the house. KG, all for the love of Leeds. We are 1-0. Jim here saying not a priority signing for me. I do think that we do need another centre back, though. When you look at it, you know, with Cooper being the backup option right now and Creswell seemingly on his way out, I do think we need another one. But I wouldn't be pleased if I saw this permanently, man. He just isn't it, really. He isn't it. Josh D saying we don't need Benson at all. We need fullbacks. We are already top heavy. Oh, okay, yeah, Manuel Benson. I think Southampton are the front runners for him. I don't think it's going to be Leeds United, and I agree with you there. I wouldn't be impressed if we sign another winger, especially if we don't lose one. I think it's a nonsensical one, and it wouldn't be any different what Victor Orta used to do. So we need to be focused on areas that we need strengthening in. Let's have a look. Kelvin saying better options than Godfrey. Defo not on a permanent. I hear that. But Nate says, I'd love Godfrey. He can play as a right back too. He can also play left back, Nate. But it's one of those things where you want it on loan rather than permanent for me. You know what I mean? It's one of those where if he comes in loan, I think it's a brilliant sign at this level. If you're stuck with him on a 4-year deal as we move up to the Prem, yeah, it's a little techie for me because then you're taking up wages and a roster spot, a squad spot, sorry, for someone else who you could get in who's genuine quality, who can help you out to get you to the level where you want Leeds United to go. And for me, I'll never waver. I want to see Leeds United eventually back in Europe. So, and I just know Ben Godfrey isn't that guy. Yeah, Jack. Hey, listen, you know it, and I think that sums it up with Ben Godfrey. And listen, if you disagree, put it in the comments after the video. Ben Godfrey is a bozo, but he'll be okay on loan at this level. Jack, that's perfect. That's absolutely perfect. Andy, Andy here saying KG going all Jesse Marsh on us. Listen, it's all the American sports and sports shows I watch. It's obviously going to just filter into the language, and that's what happened there. But yeah. Let's have a look. Uh, Lee Oxley here. Is Dallas retiring? I haven't heard anything. I mean, I can have a look now. I can just have a quick look now, but I don't think so. No, I can't see anything about that. But it wouldn't surprise you, would it? I think his contract's up at the end of the season. I think it would be best if he left. I think I don't think he's getting another deal here anyway. He hasn't played since that game against Man City. So yeah, I think those kind of players' times are up at this football club anyway. Kelvin here, just on Godfrey. I mean, he's right. Kelvin saying if Godfrey comes in, he's back up to Roden and Stroud 100%. And Kelvin, you got to add in there Ampadu now because we don't know if we're going to see Ampadu move back up into midfield. Because then, if Ampadu moves back up, who gets taken out? I guess the easy answer is Kamara. But then, if you play Ampadu and Gruev together, that's too similar. You don't have anyone going forward really to break, front press. So yeah, it's a tricky one. Um, but yeah, listen, people, I think that is it. There's no comments from Daniel Farker. There's nothing yet, so we'll cover that on another video. So just hit the notification bell so you know when I'm going live, and we can, if he says anything of note, especially due to the injuries to Sam Byram or Dan James, we can go through it together. But yeah, I think that is it, people. I think that is it. Look at that, though. The table's looking a lot healthier, isn't it? Leicester's still a little bit out of reach, but that second place isn't. We just have to keep on doing what we're doing. And that's all we have to do, people. Wasn't pretty today, but 1-0 win gives us another 3 points. Bamford 4 and 5. Keep it up, please. And yeah, onto the cup. And let's progress in the cup, people, because you know me, I want a cup run. I want a cup run, people. All right, people, please like the video before you go, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, people.